Let me begin this day by telling you what I did. But wait a second. AJ 43EE 344319, two moons coming out, seen right from one spirit world through the soul of one's body and out the other end. I didn't mark on my hands today, but then I'm going to show you. You see this straight line across? See the way it bends across and then it looks across? Because it is a cross. And I'm going to show you this hand, exactly what this hand does when I follow the line. One straight line across. Try and mark your hand up and close it, not to lose that. Now I'm going to show you the other hand. You see that line? I'm going to do it across, but take a close look. The line is straight across before I even start. Do that with your hand and check where all your lines go. So when I run that, and I have to do this because one, I'm not going to continue. It wouldn't be fair. Right, Jay? How do you spell J? J-A-I, like May, M-A-Y, or Mayan? 18 days, let's not get into that. This hand and this hand. Two straight lines across. I should do this, the fly. See the way the thumbs are on each end? One's the head, one's the tail. 28. I want to show you what I did today. I went out with my son all day. He picked me up before I was finished my nap. And you know, when I nap, I'm a bipolar, schizophrenic, Seroquel, lithium nap. You know what it is? It's like banging off all the walls. This is what I did today. I drove from here 40 minutes to get over here. When I got to here, I walked all the way down to the wharf, just like in New York and Los Angeles, where they have the water and the boats, like Pier 49. And I walk to the water, and I get to the end of the water over here, and I go, hey, what happened? There's a water. And I look down, and it's a beach. They brought sand on and a boardwalk, and they made a little beach and boardwalk right around the wharf. They sold alcohol, but I couldn't find a bottle of water. But, whoa, I'm a man? Okay. So I went from this beach. I walked all the way up to Chinatown where I ate lunch, and they had the biggest dumplings in the world, and they were good. So I walked from Chinatown over here, and I got on a metro, and I took the metro all the way up to here. I walked all the way over here to where the bar was called Judiciel, and I had 2 beers with my son. Not knowing that each beer I was having was 6 ounces, I could have bought 1 beer of 14 ounces, had 2 ounces more. I would have been drunk as a skunk because on those 2 beers, I was flying. Then I walked from here all the way down to here, passing this restaurant where I wanted to go. By the time I got here, okay, I said, I took a metro pass from here for $11 for 2 people, so we can get on the metro twice. We got on the metro here, I took it back here. We went from here, I took a metro all the way from here, and I walked all the way back to where my car was. This whole trajectory started at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 11 o'clock at night. I just got home. We spent an hour in the beer bar, okay? I stopped at McDonald's for a coffee. My son picked me up a coffee in the morning, and that's my day. Probably walked, oh, excuse me, when we went home on the way home, we went back to Chinatown, through Chinatown, which is St. Lawrence Street, up to Schwartz's, and we stopped for 2 of the best smoked meat sandwiches in the world. Celine Dion owns this. But wait a second, something happened. Just after I left Chinatown, just before the metro, I saw 2 students on the street begging for money, saying a hamburger or a sandwich would be good. I walk into McDonald's for a coffee. I end up in the washroom. I walk outside, and I didn't spend the $4 on coffees with my son, so I dumped $4 into their tray. There was a guy across the street with a handout. I threw the other $1.25 there, and I was broke. By the time we left this bar, walking down the street, when I passed this area, there was a guy begging on the side. He says, change, please. And I walk by the guy, and I turn around, and I go, sorry, sir, I don't have any change. So I gave him a $5 bill, the color of my eyes, blue. Within 2 seconds that I turned around, that this guy was off his feet and in the store buying 2 beers. That was crazy. Before I even turned around, I saw him buying 2 beers. Now my expression and my exhaustion Does that change the color of my eyes? Because apparently AJ says he noticed that my eyes change colors. So it is what it is. I did see an orange eye once. And will I bring it up or will I forget? That's the question. Will I bring it up or will I forget? This is what I did. At the end of it, I drove all the way home. Raphael, 7286 on a constellation of Pegasus. Did I see anything today? I did. Do you remember the monkey that's the organ grinder? Well, I saw signs that come of the Orient, okay, that express the organ grinder. It was like this, but what happened, I'm going to show you how the organ grinder went. This is what it was, and it was over squared lines, and this is what the organ grinder do. So if I grab it here, and I put a hand right here, I can grind around like the organ grinder. What does that have to do? Something to do with the passage maybe within our system, could be the snake, and how we live within the spirit and soul world, how they combine together. What else did I see? Tons of churches. I must have saw 20 churches today. No one was giving out money, but I did, so I must be a church all in myself. The 6 key, a Santé grave and a Santé aiguë. Do I have anything else to say? I have an occupation. I have a menace, Dennis the Menace, Wilson with Tom Hanks, Wilson with Dennis the Menace, Wilson says no lis. Fleur de lis. Wilson, it means backwards. The flower of life. Fleur de lis, the flower of life. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I met Bob Marley today. Oh, I met Bob Marley today. Look at this. I met Bob Marley. And when you go in there, I've got a present. I've got High Times, and inside this packet of matches, if you actually take a look, I want to show you how it works, okay? Inside of here are filters for when you roll, whatever you roll, with the rolling paper, you have filters for your rolling paper, and for every 3 packs you buy, you get one, but I seem to have lost 1 pack somewhere. What else did I write down? I have Dennis the Menace. The fleur de lis, if you put 2 fleur de lis upside down over each other, right? And I'm going to do that for you. And I'm going to do one here. And I'm going to do that for you right there. There you go. Fleur de lis, one on top of the other. You want to maybe drag a little circle and maybe make 2 lines. And how about this? Let's X this out. Because you were born. The belly button 22 brings you into life. X that out. The belly button of life. Where, what, why is it tied up before anything? Because that was your mouth before your mouth was here. But if your mouth wasn't here, right, we can actually just add a little mouth over here. Ha, what you doing? But this guy does not really like to go around, okay, unless you give him something to go on his head. But if you give him something to go on his head, who says that's his head? Maybe he's got an overlooker or the mouse that picks up his information. But I don't know. Raphael 7286 on a constellation of Pegasus. I'm Even Stephen. Thank you for watching this video. The day is August something. Oh, what else did I see? Oh, isn't it crazy? I bumped into a building that had a sign that was talking about World War I, and it showed it's 100 years ago tomorrow, World War I.